Discover the 5 powerful beans every senior should add to their diet to naturally support healthier blood pressure. Have you ever noticed your blood pressure rising later in the day, even when you're calm and not under stress? This can happen for several reasons, such as excess fluid in the body, not getting enough essential minerals, or a gradual decline in artery flexibility with age. What many people don't realize is that certain everyday foods contain unique compounds, including minerals and natural peptides, that help relax and open up blood vessels. This process, known as vasodilation, allows blood to move more easily and reduces strain on the arteries. What if the very thing tightening your arteries, whispering threats to your heart with every beat, could be gently undone not by a prescription but by a pantry staple? What if the secret wasn't in a high-tech lab, but in the humble, forgotten rows of the grocery aisle? For millions, high blood pressure is a silent, relentless companion, a constant, low-grade alarm in your veins. You watch the numbers, you feel the pressure, you wonder if this is just what getting older means. We are here to tell you it is not. Today, we are not just talking about food, we are talking about biomechanical repair. We are talking about 5 specific beans that function like microscopic maintenance crews for your cardiovascular system. They scrub, they soothe, they command your arteries to relax. And we will reveal them all, but this is not a simple list. This is a protocol, a strategic approach. And there is a critical warning: most people prepare number 3 completely wrong, neutralizing its power. And at the end, a simple, almost effortless bonus tip, a movement so subtle it can be done from your chair that can double the results of everything you eat. This is not just nutrition. This is vascular engineering. And we begin with a food that is a master of disguise: comfort. The pressure lock and the key of comfort. Imagine your arteries not as simple pipes, but as living, breathing tunnels lined with muscle. Every time you consume excess sodium, that hidden salt in bread, in soup, in packaged meals, it's like scattering tiny barbs along those tender walls. The muscles tense. The tunnel narrows. Your heart, that faithful pump, must now push its life-giving cargo through a tighter, more resistant space. The pressure rises. This is the daily siege. But nature provides a key, a liberator, potassium. It moves through your bloodstream not as a barb, but as a smooth, polished key. It finds those sodium barbs and gently coaxes them loose, escorting them out through the kidneys. The muscle relaxes. The tunnel widens, pressure eases. This is not magic. This is basic, elegant human physiology that we have forgotten. And the first bean on our list is the master of this exchange. It is the black bean. Do not mistake its common appearance for simplicity. Within each tiny sphere is a concentrated arsenal against pressure. 1 cup of cooked black beans delivers approximately 600 milligrams of that liberating potassium. Think of it as sending in a specialized cleanup crew after a salty meal. But the black bean's genius is multifaceted. It also brings magnesium, 120 milligrams per cup. If potassium is the key that unlocks the tense muscle, magnesium is the warm, relaxing breath that follows. It tells the smooth muscles of your artery walls, you can stand down. It's the antidote to that low-grade, constant tension that many mistake for aging. A deficiency in magnesium is like leaving your foot on the brake while trying to drive. You burn fuel, you strain the engine, and you go nowhere fast. This bean fills that critical gap. Then there is the fiber. Soluble fiber. This is the arterial scrub brush. As it moves through you, it performs a silent, crucial heist. It binds to LDL cholesterol, the sticky, troublesome kind in your digestive tract, and removes it before it can ever reach your artery walls. Less plaque, less narrowing, less resistance. Your heart sighs in relief. But here is where we move from biochemistry to ritual. This is food as comfort, as warmth. For seniors, especially on colder days, a warm, savory black bean soup is not just a meal, it is a therapeutic act. It is warmth penetrating to the core, easing more than just the chill in the air. It eases the tension in your vessels. The consistency of eating this half to 1 cup a day, particularly at lunch, allows your body to use its tools without being overwhelmed. A simple black bean soup with celery, onions, and herbs is a prescription in a bowl. Mash them on whole grain toast with a drizzle of olive oil, and you have built a heart-supporting plate with protein, healthy fats, and that all-important fiber. A critical warning: not all beans are created equal. This is where intentions are undone. Dry beans are pure, economical, and free of hidden sabotage. Yes, they require soaking, a small tax for purity. Canned beans offer convenience, but many are Trojan horses, filled with enough sodium to spike your pressure, undoing all the good. You must become a label detective. Seek only those that state, "no salt added." Look for BPA-free lining to avoid chemical exposure. The wrong choice here can turn a healer into a weapon. The risks are subtle. Unsoaked dry beans can cause gas, a rebellion in your gut that makes you abandon the mission. Large portions can overwhelm a slower digestive system. And for those with specific kidney conditions, the very potassium we champion must be approached with professional guidance. But for most, this is a safe, profound, and affordable beginning. We've started with comfort, with the foundational scrub of the black bean. But what if the pressure is most stubborn at night, when the world is quiet and your numbers whisper their defiance? The next bean on our list is the silent guardian of the night watch. It holds one of the highest magnesium levels of all, a mineral directly linked to calming the nervous system that governs your vessels while you sleep. It is the creamy, unassuming powerhouse that targets that ominous evening spike. But what you do with it after lunch determines if you sleep like a baby or wrestle with the tide in your veins through the long night. The night shift and the creamy guardian, for many seniors, the most treacherous hours are not in the stress of the day, but in the quiet of the night. You lie down expecting rest, but your cardiovascular system is still fighting a hidden battle. Fluids pooled from a day of sitting are being reabsorbed. Nervous signals, unchecked, keep your arteries in a state of low-grade alert. This is nocturnal hypertension, a silent predator that magnifies the risk of cardiac events while you are most vulnerable. Enter the second warrior, the navy bean. Small, unassuming, yet potent, the navy bean is the specialist for the night shift. Its power lies in a formidable 1-2 punch: magnesium and a special type of fiber called resistant starch. With nearly 100 milligrams of magnesium per cup, it acts as a direct calming agent for your nervous system. Think of your nerves as electrical wires controlling the floodgates of your arteries. Magnesium insulates these wires, preventing errant, tense signals that tell your vessels to clamp down unnecessarily. It is nature's beta blocker in food form. And then the resistant starch. This is not ordinary fiber. It is a prebiotic of food for your gut's guardians. It travels undigested to your colon, where it feeds your beneficial gut bacteria. In return, these bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids. These are not just digestive aids. They are messengers. They travel through your bloodstream, signaling a reduction in systemic inflammation. Chronic inflammation is like a constant, low-grade fire in your vessels, making them stiff and unresponsive. The navy bean, through this fascinating gut-heart axis, helps douse those flames. The practical magic is in its texture and versatility. Blended into soups and stews, navy beans create a luxurious, creamy base without a drop of heavy cream. This isn't just about taste, it's a strategic swap. You reduce saturated fat, which can stiffen arteries, and increase life-saving minerals and fiber. A creamy navy bean and spinach stew is not just a winter meal. It's a nightly protective ritual. Or consider a navy bean hummus. Blended with garlic and rosemary, a savory spread that turns vegetables into a heart-protecting feast. But caution is your co-pilot here. The convenience of canned beans is a siren song. Most standard cans are salt bombs, designed for shelf life and the addicted palate, not for healing. You must hunt for low sodium or no salt added labels. And avoid the seasoned, baked bean traps. They are often loaded with sugar and additives that ignite inflammation, the very thing we're trying to extinguish. Here is the critical mistake of timing. Consuming a large portion of these fiber-rich beans late in the evening is like sending a construction crew to start work at bedtime. Your digestion slows at night. The work may cause bloating, discomfort, and restless sleep, making you abandon the protocol. The ideal time is lunch or early dinner. This allows your body the daylight hours to process, to produce those calming fatty acids and to regulate fluid balance before you retire. And a vital note for those on medications: if you are taking diuretics, your potassium levels are already a carefully balanced equation. Introducing high potassium foods like navy beans is powerful, but it must be a conversation with your doctor. This is about synergy, not surprise. We have covered the foundational scrubber and the nocturnal guardian. But what about the very elasticity of your arteries? Their ability to breathe, to expand when demand calls? Our next bean is the master of arterial flexibility. It's the one most people prepare incorrectly, turning a vascular superhero into a mundane snack. It doesn't just lower pressure, it teaches your blood vessels to dance. Coming up, the shocking mistake 82% of people make with the next bean on the list, and the simple correction that unlocks its true circulation revolutionizing power. The elasticity fix and the critical mistake. The health of your arteries isn't just about what's on them plaque, but about the health of the living inner lining itself, the endothelium. This is a single layer of cells, a biological silk lining, responsible for a miracle molecule, nitric oxide. Think of nitric oxide as the command that tells your arteries to dilate, to open wide, to let life flow freely. As we age, this lining can become damaged, unresponsive. The commands are ignored. The vessels remain stiff. This is endothelial dysfunction, a core driver of resistant hypertension, where numbers stay high despite medication. Now, meet the endothelial mechanic, the chickpea. The chickpea's power is precision engineering. It is rich in an amino acid called L-arginine. This is the direct precursor, the raw building block, your body uses to manufacture nitric oxide. It's supplying the bricks to rebuild the factory. Furthermore, with about 12 grams of fiber per cup, chickpeas regulate the release of glucose into your bloodstream. Why does this matter for blood pressure? Because sharp sugar spikes are like throwing sand into the delicate gears of your endothelium. They cause micro tears, inflammation, and stiffness. Chickpeas ensure a slow, steady fuel burn, protecting that silken lining. But here is where we encounter the catastrophic common error. Most people think of chickpeas as a dry, crunchy snack food. They buy them pre-roasted, salted, and seasoned from a bag. This is a tragic reduction of their potential. You are consuming them in their driest, most condensed, and often sodium-laden form. This can stress digestion and introduce the very sodium we're fighting. The preparation mistake is treating them as a standalone, processed snack, not as the central, nourishing component of a meal, the correct way. Rehydrate, integrate, nourish, soak them, cook them gently. Or, for convenience, choose a no-salt added canned variety and rinse them thoroughly. Then add them to a world of moisture and companion nutrients. A chickpea salad with hydrating cucumbers and antioxidant-rich parsley. A creamy hummus blended with lemon and tahini. The healthy fats increase the absorption of their fat-soluble nutrients. In this form, they are digestible, their nutrients are bioavailable, and they work in harmony with other foods. This is how you support nitric oxide production. Not from a dried pellet, but from a nourishing, whole food preparation. The psychological shift is key. Stop thinking of it as a health snack and start seeing it as a primary protein, a centerpiece. This is how cultures from the Mediterranean to the Middle East have used them for centuries, not as diet food, but as life food. Portion matters too. Start with half a cup. Let your digestive system, perhaps dormant to such fiber, awaken gently. We have scrubbed, calmed, and made flexible. But what about attack from within? The oxidative stress that rusts our vessels from the inside out. Our fourth bean is the misunderstood shield. Often villainized because of the company it keeps in sugary, salty dishes, its true nature is that of a protector, rich in compounds that fight this internal rusting. It is the bean you've been warned about for all the wrong reasons. The final two beans, including one that mimics the action of a major class of blood pressure medications, are next. And the bonus tip, the 2-minute chair movement that can double their efficacy, is so simple, you'll wonder why no one told you sooner. The misunderstood shield and the pressure mimic peptide. The kidney bean carries the burden of its own reputation. It is the star of salty chilies, of sugary baked bean tins. But strip away the unhealthy preparations, and you find a heart of a defender. Its deep red color is a clue. It is rich in anthocyanins and polyphenols. These are antioxidant compounds. Think of them as millions of microscopic firefighters rushing to neutralize free radicals, the unstable molecules that oxidize and damage your artery walls, making them prone to stiffness and plaque adhesion. It is also a substantial source of plant-based protein, about 13 grams per cup. This is not just for muscles. Protein provides the amino acid building blocks required for the constant repair and maintenance of your vascular tissue. A weak vessel is a vulnerable vessel. Kidney beans help keep the structure sound. The rule here is isolation and control. You must separate the bean from the unhealthy paradigms. This means cooking dry beans yourself or meticulously choosing no salt added canned versions. Then you control the seasoning. A kidney bean and vegetable stew with herbs, garlic, and paprika is a far cry from a sodium-laden canned chili. It becomes a healing, fortifying dish. A critical safety note: raw kidney beans contain lectins, which can cause severe gastric distress. This is nature's defense mechanism. Soaking overnight and cooking thoroughly deactivates these compounds, transforming them from a gut irritant into a gut-friendly fiber. Respect the process. Now, we arrive at our final bean, and perhaps the most scientifically intriguing, the lentil. Lentils are the swift, gentle operatives of the legume world. They cook quickly, are often easier to digest, and possess a hidden weapon: bioactive peptides. When you digest lentils, these small protein fragments are released. Pioneering research, including work from institutions like the University of Toronto, suggests these peptides may act as natural ACE inhibitors. ACE inhibitors are a common class of prescription blood pressure medication. They work by inhibiting an enzyme that causes blood vessels to constrict. Lentil peptides appear to support this same pathway, naturally and gently. It's as if the lentil carries within it a whisper of the same instruction: relax. Combine this with their high potassium, magnesium, and gentle fiber, and you have a food that supports pressure reduction on multiple fronts: mechanically, enzymatically, and nutritionally. A lentil soup is not just soup. It is a broth of biochemical support. We have armed you with 5 powerful tools: the scrubber, black bean; the nocturnal guardian, navy bean; the elasticity mechanic, chickpea; the antioxidant shield, kidney bean; and the enzyme mimic, lentil. Incorporating them, rotated through your week, creates a consistent, nurturing environment for your cardiovascular system to heal. But there is one more act. A bonus tip that costs nothing, takes 2 minutes, and can amplify the work of every bean you eat. It addresses a hidden flaw in modern life: sedentary pooling. When you sit for hours, gravity pulls blood and fluid into your lower legs. Your heart, now receiving less blood return, must pump harder and faster to maintain circulation. This raises pressure. The solution is not necessarily a grueling workout. It is strategic, gentle movement that activates the calf muscle pump, the muscles in your calves that, when contracted, act as a secondary heart, squeezing blood back upward. The midday movement burst. Seated march, lifting knees alternately while seated. Calf raises, rising onto toes while holding a chair for balance. Ankle circles, rotating ankles slowly, all done for 2 to 3 minutes. Do this in the mid-afternoon when energy and circulation often lag. It's not about sweat. It's about signal. This movement stimulates nitric oxide production, improves venous return, and tells your system to stay fluid. It prevents the afternoon pressure creep. Consistency here is everything. Doing this daily, paired with the bean protocol, creates a powerful synergy: nutritional repair from within, mechanical support from without. This is not a quick fix. It is a return. A return to understanding food as foundational medicine. A return to integrating gentle, purposeful movement into the rhythm of your day. It is the acknowledgement that your body is a system longing for balance, and that sometimes the most profound tools are the simplest, forgotten ones. The siege on your arteries can be lifted. The pressure can be eased. It starts with a single choice, a single bean in your next meal. If this journey from silent threat to empowered healing resonated with you, if you felt a sense of relief that there are natural, powerful levers you can pull, then do this for me. Subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell, because we dive deep into the science of natural heart health every week. And let me know in the comments, type the word relief if this video gave you a new sense of hope and a clear path forward. Your health story is not over. The next chapter begins now.